So hello, wild women, wise women, and witches. Let's dig right into this June 2024 full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by the planet of Saturn, which luckily doesn't go retrograde till the 29th. So all those manifesting energies that are part of the Capricorn energy will be very much present. So let's just remember that the moon, the full moon especially, exalts energy. It's excellent for when you want something to be brilliant, when you want the light shined and the whole reflection sent out to the world. So with the moon in Capricorn, that's going to be a lot of the energies that come with the sign, which include determination, self-discipline, practicality. They tend to be protectors and providers. They are fire of earth, which is really excellent when we start digging into the fact that the summer solstice is the day before. That fire acting on earth is part of the Capricorn makeup as well. And it is especially poignant being that the solstice, the winter solstice, being the day before, also adds to the type of magic and spiritual work that we might be able to perform kind of from one day to the next, whether that's with a long candle or a prayer or a meditation vigil that you do on both days, simple candle magic. I do have some suggestions for the two of these events working together that I'll be sharing at the end. So let's dig into the relationship between the solstice and the full moon in Capricorn. So with the solstice energy, first of all, that's going to be when the sun is at its strength, when it's associated with summer, and it's called MidSummer. In the more agrarian traditions, in the Wiccan tradition, it would be with May Eve being the beginning of summer, then this would be the MidSummer, and the sun is at its strength. It's at the most powerful time of the year for the sun energy. It's the beginning of the Leo season. So with that, we have some interesting energies that would seem to be in opposition to this full moon Capricorn, that the feminine reflection, receptive energy, with that sun brilliance, vivifying and animating energy. We have the option actually to do something very alchemical. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how you might use this particular confluence of events for alchemical purposes. So let's take a look at the two of them together. For instance, we would consider, if we were doing this mythologically, that the summer solstice might be Apollo, the sun in its strength, whereas the Capricorn energy in the full moon we would have as the earth. The earth is the receptive, but the Capricorn especially is associated with the devil in the tarot. So we kind of have that sun to earth energy going on. Now, I don't use this mythos, any of the theological tenets or the Christian mythos in my practice. So for us, it wouldn't be the devil card, it would be Pan. It would be the virile earth, the masculine energies of the earth, the active, animating energies of the earth. So all that energy comes into what you can do for that full moon, but when we think of it in context with the summer solstice being the day before, we can actually kind of create that energy of above and below between the 2 days. We can start maybe with a meditation at the summer solstice where we reach out to the light in the universe and bring it down into where we're rooted into the earth and unite at the full moon with the earth energy. So you've got that kind of ascension motif going on with working between the summer solstice and the full moon in Capricorn this month, which is just extra special. Also really, really cool. Let's see. Also, tarot-wise, since I said something about, for the Temple of Mod, we wouldn't have the devil card. We would probably more call it, I might be inclined to maybe call it the shadow, but I would just call it the very present earth energy. So with the Leo energy of strength, we get kind of the energies that are part of the Capricorn anyway, that endurance and that determination. So if you were doing maybe a candle magic spell from the solstice to the full moon, perhaps it would be something for empowerment and courage, along with the Capricorn's propensity to be good at business. They are good providers. They're very productive, is a very important word for the Capricorn. So you've got that type of energy going on. You could light a candle on one night of the solstice for that endurance, and then how you wish to express that endurance, how you wish that energy to be reflected, because we're also dealing with the full moon. You can light a second candle on the full moon night and then direct the energy that you raised at the summer solstice. Very simple candle magic. You might use a yellow candle for the solstice, and then maybe, since we're also dealing with manifestation energies, a black candle, because Saturn is very much empowering the energy of the Capricorn moon. So just some thoughts to maybe inspire you to something creative in your own magical and spiritual practice. That would be really awesome. And let's see, I do want to talk about, while we are talking about the summer solstice, let's run through just a little bit about other ways to look at that energy. It is, for the Wiccan practice, they would call it the time when the Oak King takes over. But that's actually just a way that Robert Graves chose to kind of express some motifs in Celtic and Welsh lore with the Oak King, Sun King kind of energy going on. Give me just a second. So it really harkens back to the dying rising god themes that go all the way back to ancient Sumeria, all the way back to Inanna and Tammuz, or it might have been Dumuzi. I might be using the Babylonian name, all the way to Aset and Asar, which is Isis and Osiris by the time we get to Greece. So that particular dying god, rising god myth is the one that it's all based on, the one that it would harken back to. So this would be the time of the rising god. So again, we have that concept of ascension. So what I'm going to suggest you do is make your own kind of alchemical water. So set you out a jar with the solstice, let it get charged with all the powers of the summer solstice, and then set you out a jar of moon water. Let it get charged with all the lunar effulgent energies of the full moon, along with that Capricorn energy. And then in your own special ritual, perhaps light a candle for the solar, light a candle for the lunar water, and unite them in a ritual ceremony to be kind of your own alchemical water that you can use for more of your personal practice, when you have a personal spell that you want to do that's about self-knowledge, about your higher self, that kind of thing. So it's a great time to make yourself some alchemy water, alchemical union of fire and water. And along with the Capricorn energy, which will make it very empowering. So use it to encourage yourself some radical self-acceptance. Remember, the sun's always associated with identity, so it's about knowing who you are and being able to be honest with yourself, authentic with yourself is kind of where it begins. So this would be very meaningful to use this type of water that you've charged with the solar, the lunar energies, and then united them in your own special ceremony for whatever intention and purpose you want to put into the combined energies of those waters. Anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful summer solstice and full moon in Capricorn. And we are having an event on Thursday at 2 o'clock that all the Wild Women, Wise Women, and Witches group, you're invited to here in Knoxville. If I know you and you would like to come hang out on the porch with us at 2 o'clock, we are going to be making a healing potion using some color magic to celebrate the summer solstice. And I hope everyone has a great solstice into their full moon, and let that be followed with a really great weekend. And we'll see you again next month to talk about the magical and spiritual energies available at the current full moon.